What's up, wrestling fans? You're watching Fight Talks News, the one-stop spot for every WWE headline and showdown. Subscribe now and ring that bell. Let's get started. The wrestling world thrives on moments of tension, betrayal, and unexpected twists, and few incidents have captured that energy as dramatically as the events surrounding Seth Rollins and his faction. What began as a narrative of loyalty and dominance quickly morphed into a story of upheaval and uncertainty. Audiences witnessed the implosion of a group meant to define a new era, leaving chaos in its wake and reshaping the dynamics of the WWE locker room. This storyline blends athleticism, strategy, and emotional engagement, highlighting how powerful moments in wrestling can transcend mere performance. Fans were drawn into the spectacle, feeling the weight of every decision and alliance. Behind the scenes, performers and executives carefully orchestrate each sequence, creating moments that resonate beyond the ring. The unfolding drama not only affects the characters involved, but also shapes the storytelling landscape, setting the stage for future confrontations, rivalries, and emotional payoffs. The rise and fall of a vision. Seth Rollins' faction, known as the Vision, was intended to be a symbol of innovation and leadership. Selected for loyalty, skill, and strategic potential, its members represented the next era of dominance within WWE. Rollins invested time and energy in crafting a cohesive unit that could influence storylines and elevate talent. Fans saw a powerful, united front, a manifestation of Rollins' vision both on-screen and behind the scenes. However, even the most carefully constructed plans can unravel. The Vision ultimately turned against its leader, reshaping the hierarchy and introducing uncertainty. This betrayal disrupted not only storylines, but also the emotional arc of audiences who had invested in the faction's journey. The incident illustrates how professional wrestling is more than performance. It is storytelling layered with alliances, trust, and risk. Rollins' leadership was challenged, demonstrating the delicate balance between creative intent and evolving dynamics within a live, competitive environment. The blindsiding. Chaos in the ring. The pivotal moment occurred when Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman executed a coordinated attack on Rollins, marking a dramatic turn in the storyline. Audiences witnessed a well-orchestrated act that combined athleticism, timing, and spectacle, creating shockwaves both in the arena and across media platforms. Rollins was physically impacted and storyline-wise stripped of the World Heavyweight Championship due to his inability to compete. The segment demonstrated the storytelling power of betrayal, showing how alliances can fracture and authority can be challenged. For fans, it was a dramatic, emotional moment that combined suspense with realism. Behind the scenes, the execution required careful planning, trust, and precision to ensure safety while maximizing narrative impact. This segment reshaped the perception of the Vision, presenting a darker, more unpredictable version of the faction, and setting the stage for escalating conflicts, further character development, and the exploration of new story arcs. Becky Lynch steps into the narrative. Becky Lynch's involvement added an emotional and human dimension to the unfolding chaos. With Rollins temporarily absent, she became the symbolic voice of resistance and continuity, representing his legacy and stakes within the story. Her confrontation with Paul Heyman was charged with tension, combining both performance and emotional gravitas. Fans witnessed a powerful segment in which Lynch's intensity conveyed determination, loyalty, and moral resolve. She confronted Heyman, expressing her character's commitment to accountability and justice, thereby personalizing the storyline for audiences. Her presence sustained engagement while Rollins recovered, bridging the gap between the original leader and ongoing conflicts. This involvement underscores the narrative technique of using proxy characters to maintain tension and audience investment. Lynch's performance highlighted the interplay between emotion, action, and storytelling in professional wrestling, reinforcing the impact of character-driven arcs even when a central performer is temporarily absent from the ring. The role of Paul Heyman, strategy and manipulation. Paul Heyman's character operates as a strategist and mastermind, guiding the actions of allies while subtly influencing outcomes. His calm, rational demeanor contrasts with the emotional responses of others, creating a compelling dynamic. In the storyline, Heyman justifies his decisions as strategic moves, aligning with winners and preserving control. His role demonstrates the importance of antagonist figures in wrestling, who challenge heroes and provoke audience investment. Heyman's calculated behavior adds layers to the narrative, allowing fans to engage with moral ambiguity and complex motivations. This dynamic also allows other performers like Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed to evolve into independent forces within the story. Heyman's interactions with Lynch and the faction highlight the tension between strategy and loyalty, authority and rebellion. By positioning him as both instigator and manipulator, WWE enhances narrative depth and sets the stage for ongoing conflicts that intertwine personal vendettas with competitive ambition. The emergence of new threats. Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, once loyal members of Rollins' vision, have transformed into independent forces within the WWE landscape. Breakker, holding the championship alongside Heyman, symbolizes a new order, confident, aggressive, and ready to redefine power dynamics. Reed's silent, imposing presence adds an element of unpredictability. Their evolution demonstrates how professional wrestling utilizes character growth and faction dynamics to maintain audience engagement. Each new development introduces tension, as allegiances remain fragile and potential conflicts loom. Fans anticipate shifts, questioning loyalty and forecasting outcomes. WWE's creative direction ensures that these transformations are compelling, both visually and narratively, giving the audience stakes to invest in. By presenting autonomous threats emerging from former allies, the company illustrates the cycle of rise, fall, and reinvention that underpins dramatic storytelling, emphasizing suspense, character depth, and the consequences of betrayal in a high-stakes, performance-driven environment. Emotional stakes and audience engagement. Becky Lynch's confrontation and the faction's upheaval highlight the emotional stakes central to wrestling storytelling. Fans respond not only to physical action but also to personal investment in character arcs and relationships. Lynch embodies Rollins' legacy, channeling his narrative while adding a layer of emotional intensity that resonates with audiences. This connection fosters empathy, anticipation, and debate among viewers, enriching the overall experience. WWE capitalizes on these emotional beats, building suspense and long-term investment. Every gesture, expression, and confrontation conveys meaning, encouraging fan engagement through social media, discussion forums, and live reactions. Emotional stakes drive narrative cohesion, ensuring that storylines remain compelling even when central performers are temporarily absent. By focusing on character motivations, loyalty, and personal resolve, WWE sustains viewer interest, illustrating how human connection and drama amplify the spectacle of professional wrestling beyond athletic performance. Conclusion: betrayal, strategy, and legacy. The events surrounding Seth Rollins, the Vision, and the emerging New Order exemplify the fusion of athleticism, drama, and strategic narrative that defines professional wrestling. The factions' collapse, Becky Lynch's emotional intervention, and Heyman's calculated manipulations demonstrate how betrayal and ambition shape character arcs, drive fan engagement, and influence creative direction. Each segment blends physical performance with emotional storytelling, ensuring audiences remain invested in both immediate and long-term outcomes. The evolving dynamics of alliances, rising threats, and the anticipation of Rollins' return highlight WWE's skill in crafting layered narratives that combine spectacle with human stakes. By balancing performance, strategy, and emotional resonance, WWE continues to create moments that captivate, inspire discussion, and build enduring legacies for its performers and storylines.